Tiffany.
Aside from having to do an interview, how's your day going so far?
It's good, man. It's got, it's the season going, so it's just a lot to try to get through this week and maybe work 1 or 2 days next week and then, be able to relax for the holidays.
Right. This is got to be the peak season for you because the major sports are all happening. Plus, the Super Bowl is coming up. Plus, it's the holiday season, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
your title is Director of Marketing and Merchandising. What's a typical day for you like? Because that's a powerful title there. That's a powerful brand you work with, but we don't know.
Yeah. So you'll be the first to know, but I will just got promoted to a VP of marketing and community engagement. So
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so starting January 1st, that will be kind of my new role. But for me, like in the day-to-day, the cool thing about this industry and about doing what I do is that there is no typical day-to-day. And that's what I like because, I deal with on the marketing and merchandising side, I'm dealing with our brand partners like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Puma.
Right.
And then we're also a franchise. So I'm also dealing with our individual franchisees. So something might come up one day, a franchisee needs help with a local marketing initiative, and that's, something that I will jump on. Or so there is no like typical day, which is great. And that's what I like about this position because my days can steer me in any different direction. Of course, we got our set meetings and all of that, but throughout the day, I might, be drawn to something else rather than what I planned earlier that day.
And you mentioned Nike before, who you worked with before your post here, but am I correct? You've been there over 15 years in the same gig?
Yeah, so I started with the Athlete's Foot in 2008, actually.
Okay, so my math is a little off. We're going to be at 15 early 2023.
Yep. So early, I started February of 2008. So pretty close.
The average person I find changes posts every 2 to 3 years. When you started in this great company, did you know, hey, this is the long-term play?
No, not at first. The brand itself, during my time here has definitely had some ups and downs. But what I love about it is our community and how we're rooted in community. And I think that goes to our franchise model, which we're the only franchise model within the sneakers retail space. And, that's what I love about it. Because even though the Athlete's Foot is this global brand, we have this local feel and this local tie to community. And then I love Atlanta, if you've ever been to Atlanta, you know why they call it Hot Atlanta. So being in the industry, love being in Atlanta. I love the brand and kind of what we stand for and the principles. So I think that's kind of attributed to my longevity here.
When you mention Atlanta, I have family in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We've seen in the last 10 years or so, due to all the TV and film stuff moving there, Atlanta seems to be filming more stuff than New York or Hollywood these days, in that Atlanta might be secretly the entertainment capital of the United States. When did you start to notice that you could be in Atlanta, totally have a career related to entertainment and sports? Because when I was a kid, I know this is a long question / statement. Atlanta had TBS, TNT, WCW wrestling, the Braves. That was it. And now everything is there.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta, you see all those t-shirts, Atlanta influences everything. Like Atlanta really influences everything right now. From the TV and film, we've been owning the music culture for a minute now. But I saw when a lot of things was getting filmed down here, I was seeing it firsthand because at the time I lived in a loft right downtown. And in my neighborhood downtown, you would just start seeing movie production. And we would even get notices like, hey, this
Yeah,
is
move your
film,
cars.
or move your car, or doing
Yeah.
all this stuff. So I really noticed it probably in as early as 2010, actually. Um, but yeah, as early as 2010, when I first started noticing it, and then you start seeing it, and then you start seeing different places in these movies that, yeah, they're supposed to be in Chicago, and it's like, no, that's not Chicago, that's Atlanta, you know.
Yeah.
But so you start to see places and landmarks that could be anywhere, but it's Atlanta. Um, but they're supposed to be in another city. But it's been booming for that industry. So Atlanta is definitely a hot city right now.
Before I take it back to the athlete's foot, what you
Yeah.
just said, now one of our favorite shows of the past few years is Atlanta. Donald
Mhm.
Glover show, Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where they're sitting in a park bench in New York City. And my wife and I were looking at each other and going, I think that's Atlanta. That's not New York City. So we didn't realize until really watching that show, aside from visiting our family near Atlanta, of wait, Atlanta has its New York part. Atlanta has it. It could be any city. So,
Yeah, it's funny. We just did a photo shoot, and we wanted to, and it's a spring photo shoot. So right now, it's not spring, so we had to, and we wanted to make it look um, kind of like Miami, have a Miami feel to it or whatever. So there's places here that has a Miami feel. So we just did this photo shoot, and when I was showing some of the sample photos, people were like, "Where's that at?" I was like, "No, that's here." So yeah, I get
the
it.
city with everything, including Athlete's Foot headquarters. So
Yeah.
back to you, congratulations on this new post that you have. And in terms of community outreach, can you tell me more about how you or the brand thinks that everyday people can change their community? Because I think the average person goes, well, how can I really help aside from putting a little money in that Salvation Army thing outside the supermarket? How do I change my community? Do you have answers?
Yeah, and that's the one thing that people think philanthropy is old and rich, right? You have to be old and rich to be a philanthropist, and that's not the case. And it comes in um, different ways. Time, volunteering, like that's more important than money. Is showing up. Especially when you're working with youth. Um, they really care about and notice if you're there to show up. They don't care how much money you donate to whatever organization that they're up under. They care about you showing up for them. I think that's more important. So, and that doesn't take money. That's just carving out time. Um, and we always make time for what's important to us. And if it's truly important to you, you will make that time to do volunteer work. And I think that is probably the most rewarding. It is being there and being able to volunteer during different parts, whether it's with the youth, whether it's with homeless, whether it's with just educating. And so volunteer is big, and just showing up and providing your time. Um, for the athlete's foot, it's a combination. We definitely want to support different organizations from a monetary standpoint, but we also want to be involved. And that's one good thing about the athlete's foot and just our business model. And it's one thing that we realize a lot of people don't recognize, because we really haven't beat our chest or been out there in public media or about it, because we've been doing this since day one. Because of our franchise model, our franchisees are ingrained in that community. They're part of the community. You know, they know the families, they know family first, like they, so it's one of those things now. It's like we should be proud of what we do. We should get recognition of all the things we've done in the past and even moving forward. But we look at, some of the things that we do, and it's like, we've been doing it, but let's go ahead and start getting some recognition. So, for us being involved in community, because that's our lifeline, right? Is the community,
Right.
And we want to make sure that the community feels that we are a part of them, and we are, and that's we're their store, because they know it's owned by a franchisee, a local person that has been with them forever, and served their community for many years. So they know and feel that when they come into our stores.
Right. Well, down to the last two questions here, putting you on the spot. We want to know about Darius. Okay. Question one. What's
All right.
the last concert that you went to for fun?
The last concert for fun was probably Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Was that
concert.
with Santana or just Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Earth, Wind, and Fire at an amphitheater here with my wife and family. And that's been some years, because for fun, that was it. I've been to some fun ones, but it was for work. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You're in demand. They say you got to come here. You go there. I get it. And the last question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a sneaker that's coming up in the near future that you're excited about, that you're going, I can't wait to see that one? Does it work like that? Or if not, we'll ask a different final question.
Yeah, it doesn't work because we're in the futures business in retail. So I see product that's coming, 6 months ahead. So sometimes I forget what's coming out because I'm on to the next 6 months and all of that. I don't think there's I was excited. It just released this past weekend, was the cherry 11s. So leading up to that, because red is one of my favorite colors, not just because that's our main brand color, but it's always been one of my favorite colors. So anything red, I always, get excited about. But coming up, I can't think of anything right now.
Well,
that I'm super excited about.
Either way, I think that I've learned a lot of great things about you and the company, that you're transitioning roles in the very near future. Congratulations on that. Red is your favorite color.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what you said. You're the only franchisee within the only company that has franchisees within the space. So that's a unique, wonderful thing that gives small business owners a chance to win within footwear.
Exactly. And, just to clarify, is within that sneaker space, there is a performance running, which, Fleet Feet, and then I think medical footwear, Foot Solutions, I believe, is also a franchise. But the Athlete's Foot is the only one in the sneaker side of this industry. So yeah, we have the opportunity to give entrepreneurs a chance to be store owners through franchising.
There you go. Well, thank you for your time, and looking forward to everything that's to come from you and the Athlete's Foot.
All right, I appreciate you.
Paltrocast.